Did you hear the Joker 2 numbers? Like they're saying it's like the worst opening of like comic book cinema ever. Like apparently it did less money than The Flash and it did less money than like Morbius and stuff.
Hmm,
It's rough, bro.
damn.
It's
I
rough.
mean, well, because like what exactly did they have to work with when they decided to make it a musical?
I think they were literally got thinking that the first movie did so well that they're like, we can do anything and people
They're
are going to go see it.
untouchable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what they thought, and it just bit them in the ass. Like so many people are demanding refunds as well. Like it made so little money, and there's so many people that are demanding refunds because they walked out. They're like, "Fuck this movie! I'm walking out. I want my money back." Like I would say you're not really entitled to your money back if a movie sucks. That's your opinion. Like, you're paying to go see something. If you don't like it, that's tough shit, in my opinion. I
Well,
wouldn't be looking for my
is
money back.
right. Isn't there a grace period though? Like if you I think if you like walk out within the first 20 minutes or so, I think you can get a refund. But like if you watch the whole thing, you thought it sucked and then you try to go for a
Yeah,
refund, it's like,
yeah.
dude, you watched the whole movie. Go fuck
Bro,
yourself.
you're in here every week saying that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like go get out of here.
I've never been in the situation. Uh, I'm trying to remember. Have I ever walked out of a movie? Not I had to leave if I remember correctly, I had to leave a screening of something because like an emergency came up, but it wasn't because the movie was bad. I've never actually like gone fuck this and stood up and walked out of a movie.
Mm,
Like I've just I'm here. I've got my food. I've paid for the tickets. I'm gonna sit through it and watch it till the end. Whatever. Respect the creation. You know,
right.
whatever. But I've never actually said fuck this, stood up and walked out of something.
Right.
Have you? Have you ever walked out of a movie?
No, no. Even if the movie's terrible, I watch it.
Yeah, I'm the same, bro. I'm the same, and like I think something flips in me, and I'm kind of like, if I know something is terrible, I'm like, okay, I don't care anymore. I flip a switch, and it's like, let's try and find some like funny mistakes or something, or let's try and find a way to laugh at this movie or something. Like, I try to
Mm,
like make something out of it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I would never walk out, never. But
yeah.
I'm curious. I must ask because I have a friend who used to work in a local cinema. I must ask him about the grace period thing because that might be a USA thing only. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm curious. Do they do that here? Yeah,
81% drop off this weekend.
yeah. That's crazy. And again, that's social media. That's word of mouth. That's me personally. I knew I wasn't going to go see this in theaters because I knew what it was going to be, and I'm like, I just can't justify the money to go see that. It's a 70, 80 euro day out for me and her, and food there, and potentially food before or whatever. It's a commitment for us to go to the cinema. So like, I'm only going to go when it's something that I really think that I might enjoy. I'll go see Venom 3 and I'm going to pray that I like it, but I kind of know that I maybe won't, but I'm still going to go.
Mm,
It's kind of Spider-Man. I feel like there's a reason for me to go. This movie, no, not at all. I like Lady Gaga and I love Joaquin Phoenix, but I'm just like, this is a digital watch for me. I'm sorry. And then after it gets released and you hear about everybody fucking raging and wanted to walk out of the movie, and it solidified it for me. Yes, I will not be paying money to see this film. Will I watch it when
right.
it releases digitally? Yeah. Will I go in with an open mind? Yeah. Well, I hope I enjoy it. Some people, I've seen some takes online where people are like, it's getting undeserved hate and it's not that bad and people just aren't understanding it and blah, blah, blah. I'll go in with that mindset. Maybe people are missing something, maybe, whatever. But an 81% drop off is insane.
Yeah, I think there are a couple things in the movie itself that are essentially like giving too much of a nod to previous Jokers.
Mm.
Um, one
Are you
being that
talking the
like
end
yeah,
scene? Are you talking about the end scene?
yeah, that's what I heard is like the basically stealing that moment away from the like the original Heath Ledger Joker and um
So, did you hear about Christopher Nolan? Did you hear this story about Christopher Nolan?
no.
So, without spoiling it for anybody who might want to see the movie, apparently at the end of the very first movie, where he's standing up in the cop car and he paints the smile on his face in blood. apparently the original script had said what they wanted to do for it was for him to stand up on the cop car and carve the smile into his face. And Christopher Nolan was still a producer in DC at the time, and he said, "No, guys, you can't do this. You can't ruin Heat's. That's Heat's thing. Heat's Joker carved the smile into his face. No other Joker should do that."
Mhm.
And now in the second movie, something happens at the end of the movie. I don't really, I don't really want to say it, but they do something which is kind of, I don't know if they're trying to say that this is Heath Ledger, like they're trying to say that this is the origin of Ledger, or if it's just another Joker altogether. But they did something with a smile, and a lot of people are saying that it's Ledger, and now they're saying that they did that because Nolan is no longer part of DC, and they kind of had that window to be like, look, he's not here anymore. Look, let's just do it now that he's gone, which is kind of fucked up, bro.
It's
Really,
really fucked up. Like
yeah,
you shouldn't be you shouldn't be manipulating things so that it's akin to something that was actually good. Um and it doesn't make sense because it doesn't fit within the world itself. Bruce
mm,
Wayne is still young. Like he's not
yeah,
even of age and he can't like he's not the Batman yet. Like
yeah,
Joker in like the Heath Ledger Joker in the Dark Knight, like that's still like around the same age as Batman.
hmm, yeah,
So like by that time, like because this Joker is Joker like a Joker in his fucking 40s, I think.
yeah. So in the comics, there's a storyline with Batman where he kind of becomes a god, and he sits in this thing called the Morbius chair, and he kind of is like the all-knowing god, and he asks the chair a question. He says, "Who is the Joker?" And it was like a big end to this massive like DC arc, and it ends with there's actually three Jokers. So like Bruce is like, what the fuck? There's three of them, and then it kind of is very clever in a way because obviously the Joker character has changed over the years, and when they go into new eras in DC, like New 52 into Rebirth and blah blah blah, they always kind of change the characters a little bit. But I thought it was a very clever way to kind of explain that in the times where you thought that the world was just changing or they were doing a reboot or whatever, it's actually a different Joker taking over. So there's three of them. So if DC are trying to say that Arthur Fleck is one and then Heath Ledger's another, and potentially there's another one on top, I suppose that makes sense, but it just doesn't work. Like I think everybody knows that Arthur Fleck's Joker wasn't the real Joker. Like the first time I watched that movie, I knew straight away. I'm like, this guy isn't actually the Joker. And I thought it would be cool if at the end of the movie he actually goes to Arkham or whatever, and then he meets the real Joker. I thought that was what was going to happen at the end of the first movie, and that would have been a perfect kind of send off and one and done movie. That's it. You made a fucking masterpiece. Let it be.
Mhm.
Let it be it. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do with this movie. Like, are they trying to insinuate that now the Joker is born, and that Joker is going to be the Joker that we see in the DCU? Is that what they're trying to do? I don't know. Like, we know that in the Penguin universe, which is Elseworlds officially, uh, they're saying, "Oh, sorry, DC's so weird, bro." Like James Gunn himself doesn't even know what he's doing. It was meant to be Elseworlds, but now I'm hearing rumors that maybe they're going to turn it into the DCU, which again wouldn't make any sense because we've already been introduced to the Joker of Matt Reeves' universe
Mhm.
because it's Barry Keoghan, the fucking Irish fella. So it's like I don't know. It's so weird, dude. I don't know. I don't know. The DCU hasn't even started yet, and the whole thing is a fucking mess. It's a
I
fucking
think
mess.
partially I think it's because they don't really have any idea of how to create these characters. And even when we see like Barry Keown's face, like within like that teaser kind of look, or even like the deleted scene or whatever,
Mhm.
it's it still looks akin to the Heath Ledger Joker, which it's like, dude, just fucking make your own shit. Just make it clown makeup. Fuck it. Straight up clown makeup. And I'm fully fine with that.
Yeah, that like Jack Nicholson was perfect.
Yeah. And he still looked like, like it still was very much akin to the like I think Heath Ledger's Joker kind of makes an homage to that
Yeah.
because of the way that the clown makeup kind of pulls back as well.
and he's wearing the
And
funky suits and stuff, and
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Maniac, for anyone who might be listening, Maniac says the only movie that I've ever walked out of was Batman and Robin as a teenager. Funnily enough, I kind of like the movie these days. I haven't watched that movie. Like, is that the one with Freeze with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
You never watched that?
No, no, I have. I
Oh,
watched
okay.
it when it came out, like when I was young.
Oh,
But
okay.
even back then, I knew it was bad. So it's like it's not something that I would ever rewatch. But I'm just trying to think because there was again
Yeah.
like the Batman movies were kind of a blur back then because it was technically a trilogy, but there was different actors playing Batman. So was that was the one with Freeze with Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that everything about that movie is just awful. But I liked Chris O'Donnell as Robin. I thought he was cool as Dick Grayson. I remember liking him as a kid, and I was thinking this guy's fucking cool.
Yeah.